What is up, all my kaiju friends and fans? This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room in Greater Cincinnati. And in this video, I'm taking a trip to Monster Island. That is it, Monster Island. We're going to Monster Island on this one to look at two very special X Plus figures in my collection. Two older figures. These are older releases. And they're both actually Diamond reissues, but their previous release was quite a bit in the past, I believe. I don't know exact dates, but very, very nicely done figures, in my opinion, for their age. We have the 1968 30 centimeter Godzilla to 30 centimeter scale. One of the smaller 30 centimeters figures in the lineup, I would say, for sure. But it's a great, great figure, and of course one of my favorite suits. And then the 30 centimeter Minya 1968. So these are portrayed from the film Destroy All Monsters. As far as this suit, like I said, this is one of my favorite suits, along with the next prevailing suit, the 73 through 75. And this suit appeared in 4 films. In particular, 1968's Destroy All Monsters, 1969's Godzilla's Revenge, 1971 Godzilla vs. Hedorah, and then 1972 Godzilla vs. Gigan. This is a really special suit to me, of course, because it is my childhood. It's prevalent to the movies that I remember the most watching when I was a little kid. I do recall many times seeing Godzilla's Revenge. Destroy All Monsters, not as much. I do recall watching it when I was young, but Godzilla's Revenge, Hedorah, and Gigan, them 3 films really stick in my memory a lot, along with the 73 through 75 films. All of those films really are harken back to my memory as a young child when I first got interested and found out about Godzilla. So that's why this suit and the next prevailing suit are my favorites, just because of its history and its memory to me in the Godzilla pantheon of designs. As far as those films, this is going to be blasphemy for a lot of people, but I'm not the biggest fan of Destroy All Monsters, actually. I just think the kaiju battle in the movie is really weak. It's a gang up on Ghidorah. He don't even stand a chance, and it's not really much of a fight. It's really weak, in my opinion. It's cool all the monsters are in the film, though. That is cool. I think there's 11 or whatever. That is cool in that respect, but in the movie, story is okay to me as far as the storyline with the human characters, but the kaiju battles are really weak in my opinion, and we'll just leave that one at that. Now, the next movie is really goofy. It's Godzilla's Revenge, and to me it just has a really strong anti-bullying message throughout the whole film, and how the little boy deals with a bully, and when he dreams Minya is having the same problem on Monster Island with a bully by the name of Gabra, which is a kaiju on the island, and it's just it has a good story and meaning behind it. I think that little kids can overcome bullies with determination and some courage and stuff. So it's a neat little film, but it's probably not the favorite of many people, and it's probably the least favorite of mine of these 4 films that this suit appears in. Now, the last 2 movies of this suit's appearance, 71 and 72, Hedorah and Gigan, are my favorites. Gigan is the favorite film for me with this suit, but barely beating Hedorah. Hedorah is very close second to Gigan. Hedorah, of course, is the environmental message and what happens when we mess up the Earth, Mother Earth, and it takes repercussions on us in the form of Hedorah. And Godzilla has to prevent Hedorah from destroying the Earth. And then, of course, Gigan is just a harkens back to the golden age of Showa, in my opinion. Gigan and Ghidorah, of course, from space, and then it takes Godzilla and his tag team partner Anguirus to defeat them. So, and Gigan is my favorite nemesis to Godzilla, my favorite villain, my favorite designed baddie. I love his design, and that's why a lot of the reason that I do love that film. I know it has some issues with the old stock footage and whatsoever, but I still love the kaiju battles and action in the film. It is entertaining, and Hedra is a very close second behind this. And Hedra was the first film where I thought Godzilla was really going to get he was going to lose, honestly. When I first seen it when I was little, I thought Godzilla was going to lose because he was just getting his butt handed to him in many respects in that film. So, but Hedra's a very close second to Gigan, and then I would say Destroy All Monsters, and then Godzilla's Revenge. But the least appealing kaiju battles to me is in Destroy All Monsters, because it's so very one-sided. And I mean, the kaiju battles even in Godzilla's Revenge are more entertaining to me than in Destroy All Monsters. So as far as the battles of the kaiju and entertaining kaiju battles, my opinion, Destroy All Monsters is at the bottom of those 4 movies rankings when I'm looking at this suit. So, but I love this suit. I love the next suit. That's because, like I said, my childhood, these both harken back to my childhood, and that is really, really, really strong in me as far as how I began with Godzilla. We will take a look at these here figures, and let's do Minya first. Of course, this is Minya, Crazy Minya. He appeared in the previous movie in the series. Son of Godzilla was his first appearance, and then he was in the prevailing film, Destroy All Monsters, with Godzilla. And they really captured Minya, in my opinion, in this sculpture and the sculpting and everything. His little stubby, shorter tail, of course, because he's a juvenile. Really nicely done. Little baby dorsal plates on his tail and on his back, prevalent on his back. Nice little rows of dorsal plates, nicely done. You can see nice on his sides. Nice suit wrinkling from the portrayal of the actor in the suit, along with some nice wrinkles in the arms of Minya, which is really cool. All over the body of the legs and stuff, and on the chest and everything. The abdomen, there's nice little bumps on the skin texture, which is pretty neat, pretty accurate to the suit of Minya. He is a lighter gray in tone as far as skin color, and he has some nice light brown highlights on the chest and abdomen area, and it's really nicely done. Of course, he has Minya's lovable little face. I'll never forget when in Son of Godzilla, when he hatched and they said, "It looks like a baby Godzilla," and I went, "Really?" It doesn't look like a baby Godzilla to me, but nonetheless, it's nicely done, and the face captures Minya perfectly in my eyes. He has big eyebrows sticking up there, eyebrows over top his eyes, just like the suit. His eyes are white, and then the pupil is black with a white dot in the center. It's nicely done. His mouth is a pinkish red in color on the inside, and he has 3 teeth on the upper jaw and 2 teeth on the bottom, just like Minya did in the film. So they captured him very well on this here sculpt, I think. They did do a nice job, X Plus, and especially for its age and everything, I think they did a masterful job with this version of Minya. As far also, I failed to mention his feet are 3-toed. The toenails are very similar in color to the body, actually. Same with his hands and claws. His claws on his claw nails on his hands are same in color and tone as his body. And I love how his hands and his fingers are positioned on his hands. It just reminds me of scenes in the movie when, you know, he's walking around and just the way his hands are positioned. Same with Godzilla, I'll mention that as well. But this is a very nicely done little sculpture of Minya, especially for its age. Alright, I'll bring Godzilla forth here and we'll take a look at him real quick. This is 30 centimeter in scale, but it is on the smaller side of 30 centimeter, but it's nicely done, nicely sculpted. His tail pretty much goes down and touches it, stays on the ground, goes pretty much straight back almost. It's nicely sculpted tree bark skin on the tail. His dorsal plates start off very small on the tail and increase in size as they go up to his start of his back, and then they get a lot bigger, of course. His dorsal plates are nicely done. Two little small outer rows and the big inner row, of course. They are dark blackish gray on the inner with the bumpy texture on them. And then, of course, the outer tips of the dorsal plates are the lighter gray in color, and they are really nicely done. Captures the essence of his dorsal plates really well. Of course, all over his body, on his legs, on his midsection, on his upper chest, on both arms, he has very, very nicely sculpted tree bark type skin. I mean, this figure, I think this was released almost 10 years ago, I want to say, this figure. So I do believe this is the diamond reissue, though. I actually got this and the 30 centimeter Godzilla 1964 on the same day. It was a double box day, and I bought them from folks in the X Plus group. It was early in my collecting, right when I started. This and the 64 were probably in my top 10 of figures I bought, I would say. But the tree bark skin is nicely sculpted, like I said, all over the body. Of course, it is a charcoal gray in color. Darker charcoal gray, but a nice definition compared to even today's sculpts of the skin of Godzilla. They really did a good job on this figure. His feet are three-toed with light brownish colored toenails, and then his hands, of course, are classic way he would do his fingers, and on his right hand here, his little pinky is sticking up like that, and they really captured that. And I remember in the movies you could see him do that several times, which is cool. And then on his left hand, the same deal. His fingers are very uniquely sculpted and positioned. It just reminds me of how this Haruo Nakajima did portray Godzilla in this suit, and this really figure does do that. This is one of my favorite X Plus figures in my collection, honestly, and of course it's because it's one of my favorite suits. So as far as the face, it is the classic 1968 Godzilla. It's a brand new suit, very crisp and nice sculpting of the nose, sculpting of the cheeks, sculpting of the high eyebrow ridge and everything, very nicely done. Bumpy skin texture on the face, really nicely done. The eyes are white and then the pupil is black, solid black on both eyes, really nicely done. And inside the mouth is a light pinkish red in color. The teeth, of course, have the signature Godzilla crooked teeth, kind of, and shooting more down and inward into the mouth is signifies the Showa era Godzilla, and the teeth are, like I said, individually sculpted and nicely done. Nice placement of the angles of the teeth, in my opinion. Really reminds me of the suit. And the tongue is individually sculpted as well in the bottom jaw there. So the gums are a nice light pink color. And it's the perfect rendition of the 68. I would love to see another 68 come out, either a favorite sculptors line or even a Sakai 68. It would be great to have another 68. But these are two very nicely done figures, and I'm pretty sure this is coming on 10 years old now, this 30 centimeter Godzilla 68. So for its age, it is sculpted very, very well in my opinion, and they capture the essence of Godzilla 68 very well with this figure. Alright, I will go on to some quick size comparisons with these, and let's do that right now. Alright everybody, here is Godzilla's tag team partner, Anguirus. We gotta have Anguirus up here. This is the 30 centimeter, of course, and they scale very well, I think. In my opinion, they scale very well. This is a littler Godzilla, but I just feel like when I look at them, Anguirus is about the right height and everything, and I think they scale pretty well together. Pretty nice. One of the best tag team partners Godzilla ever had. Right there, Anguirus. Alright, let's move on to another size comparison right now. Alright everybody, here's the 30 centimeter Gigan 1972 30 centimeter with my 30 centimeter Godzilla, and as you can see, Godzilla is right about the same height, and that is not accurate. This Gigan needs to be probably almost an inch taller to really scale correctly. And I know everyone has said that this Gigan is short, and he is for 30 centimeter. But as far as accuracy, the Gigan's excellent, I think. It's just he is a little short. He needs to be, in my estimation, about an inch taller, and he would really, really capture this accurate sizing. But otherwise, this Gigan is a really great figure. But of course, these two did a whale of a battle in 1972, and of course Gigan was the first kaiju to make Godzilla bleed, so there's a lot of significance right there in that. Alright, let's do another size comparison right away. Alright everybody, here's my custom 30 centimeter Godzilla 1966 with my X Plus 30 centimeter Godzilla 68 and my 30 centimeter Minya 1968. They're pretty sized up well there, I think. This is a Mark Singing custom sculpt, so he captured a 66 pretty well there. Alright, let's do one quick final size comparison right now. Alright everybody, here is my Rick Edition Godzilla 1967 with the 68, as you can see. And here's Minya 67. I mean, it's dramatic how much of a difference in size these two figures possess. It's really a dramatic difference in size. Overall girth and height and width and everything goes to the 67. It's crazy that these were 1 year apart from one another. That's why I brought the 67 up, because I wanted to show the girth of the suit and the height of the suit, because I think this is accurate, because this was a very big tall suit, so it makes sense that it's taller. But they're quite a bit of difference in design and style of these two suits, which were 1 year apart. And then I think the Minyas are really nicely done too. Let's look at them real quick. Put you here, 68. Okay, here's 67 Minya, 68. They virtually are the same sculpt here to me. They're the same height and everything, so they're virtually the same. They look pretty cool together. Alright, we'll do some final thoughts on the 68 set, and let's do that right now. Alright everybody, I'm back. This is a rare figure these days. I think both of these are. I got lucky when I first started collecting in May 2017 and there was somebody selling this in the X Plus group. I may have bought both this and the 64 from the same guy, because I got them both on the same day. I do remember I posting a picture of them both on a double box day. So, but these are very rare now. I'm sure in the aftermarket they're pretty outrageous, but I would love to see another 68 of some sort, either another 30 or 30 centimeter in the FSL would be cool, or even a gigantic. I mean, I have a custom gigantic 68, but it'd be nice to see X Plus try their hand at another 68. We really need from 65 on 30 centimeter figures desperately of Godzilla and even some other kaiju in the film. So we desperately they need to concentrate from 65 on. 30 centimeters lineup would be great. But these are two fantastic figures. I think this Godzilla captures his essence and his style with his hands, the way his fingers are, and just the look of him. It's greatly done. It's one of my favorite X Plus figures in my collection, easily. Minya, they did a great job with him too. I would recommend getting these figures if you're a fan of this suit as me. And I hazard a guess and fear to say what they would cost, but maybe someday we'll get some more 68 love from X Plus. Would be nice. Alright, I'll bring the camera forth for a close-up of these two. I want to thank everyone for their time and attention as always in supporting my channel. If you have a comment, you can comment below. This is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room here in Greater Cincinnati. Y'all have a blessed day.